A very good evening and welcome to the Family Hour here at Church of Uganda Family TV. My beautiful name is Clare, your world's favorite host. Welcome from wherever you are watching from. This is the Family Hour. We are here under the theme of parenting. Just like you already know, this show comes to you every Monday to Friday under different themes. Just like I already mentioned, we are here under the theme of parenting. As usual, we have an amazing couple to discuss our great topic this evening. And allow me introduce to you our topic this evening is navigating the challenges or opportunities of raising a blended family. To discuss this amazing topic is a couple, the Ngandas, Mr. Philemon Nganda together with his dear wife, Bernadine Nganda. They are here to share their experience on this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget that this show is in partnership with Life Ministry Uganda. You can always check them out on their website or social media platform. They will be happy to connect with you. Ladies and gentlemen out there, please join me. Welcome this great couple to discuss this topic. Thank you for joining in. Let's welcome the guests. You're welcome. Happy to have you on the show.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
Please say hello to the viewers and then we will dig into the topic.
Greetings all viewers this evening.
Greetings viewers.
Wow. Happy to have you on the show, and I know the guests, the viewers are really excited to have you, to see you and to learn from you today. Briefly tell us about yourself. How long have you been married? I mean, you look like 3 years in marriage. We want to prove whether we are correct or something.
Okay, she will start because I may forget the date.
Okay, yeah, Mrs. Nganda.
Well, we've been married since 20th January 2007.
Oh,
Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
those are 17 years? Or?
Do the mathematics, I guess. It's about 17 years.
Oh,
Yes.
Right.
Wow. This is really 17 years. This is so exciting. So only, and you're still counting and counting. This makes me very happy. So dear viewer, we have the experience. Well, so how has marriage been like? How has parenting been like? Now that we are here under the theme of parenting, how has it been like?
Parenting is a great opportunity of working together to bring up these gifts God has given to us. And it has different dimensions. You find those who are going through tough situations. There are those who go through fairly good situations and they are moving smoothly. Mm-hmm. They're enjoying their lives. Mm-hmm. But those who go through tough situations, they have a lot to learn.
Exactly.
And help others so that they can also learn from those situations which are tough. But generally, it is just God's grace that one is able to go through all the stages of development for these children that God has given to us.
Exactly.
But we thank God because it has been a good journey. Out of the 6 we have 4 who are married.
Wow.
And 2 are waiting upon God.
Amen. Amen.
You didn't add that we already have grandchildren? Yes.
Wow.
5 of them.
Wow. So how is it like you're now parents and now your grandparents? How is it like?
It's very enjoyable. Many times when they come to visit us, especially grandchildren, when they bring them to us in our home, and you run around playing football with them and kicking the ball. And one of our grandchildren, the elder ones, I make sure that he wins all the time. So he's very happy. One jaja, it's very exciting.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's really good. So for this long time that you've been parenting, did someone ever sit you down and tell you actually where you're going? It's going to be like this. These are the hills, these are the valleys, these are the flats, the terrain is like this. Did someone ever sit you down and tell you about this whole thing that you are experiencing, or you learned on job?
To me, it was learning on the job, mainly, save for the seminars we could have had from church, from different speakers, but a lot of work is what we've learned from our own parents, and when we bring them into our own marriage, generally it's learning on the job. Yeah, to me.
How has it been for you, Bernadine?
Yeah, we had some sort of talks before marriage, but these were geared to people who are newly married. No one spoke to us about people who are coming from other marriages. So as he said, most of it was learning from the job. And yeah, between us, we kept teaching and helping each other to parent the best way.
Okay. Okay. Now, what would you advise someone out there? Would you tell them to learn on job or to seek for assistance out of your own experience? I'll start with you, Mrs. Nganda.
I think it's a good idea to hear from someone else. But what you may hear from another person may not necessarily be what makes you. Most of what you bring into marriage comes from you, but learning from other people's experience is also a good thing.
Okay.
So I would say it would be good to listen, to have that counseling, which is tailored to people who are blending.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Nganda?
I think it should be a hybrid where you learn from those who have gone through the journey before, because they have a lot of experience. One would not need to reinvent the wheel when a friend or another expert has gone through the same situation. The challenge, however, is that we want to be self-sufficient. We are the type of people who will think, how they see me asking questions as if I don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So we need to be flexible and learn from others. There's also a lot of reading materials, both on internet and also in libraries. People have published books about marriage and those areas. So it should be a hybrid of understanding from different angles, because the objective is to be successful. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So I know you already know our topic of navigating challenges and opportunities of raising a blended family.
Yeah.
How has that been on your side? How has the experience been like? You would freely share the opportunities and maybe the challenges.
Okay. So when we start from the opportunity, first of all, before I was asked to talk about this, actually the word blended family I didn't know. So I said, what's a blended family? So I had to try to understand more about it. And I discovered that even biblically, many people have gone through a blended family. Even Jesus himself went through it. And many of African families, almost all of us are from blended families. So to us, it has been a learning experience for us to bring up children, because she came with children, I had children, we agreed to be under the same roof, but we didn't understand what the future would bring.
Exactly.
But what I know what we did was to apply what we had heard about in terms of participatory planning, to involve each other, to involve the children. I know we discussed and said, please talk to your children. I talked to my children on what we are about to go through. And I remember talking to my children, they are 4, and explain to them using an approach where they can participate easily. Of course, some of them were very young, could not even participate. Others were very timid and were saying, you mean you would like to bring to us someone else to look after us? And one of them said, I know stepmothers are very bad. Do you think that's where you want to go? But also applied another approach where I say, have you had some good stepmother? They say, yeah, we have heard about good stepmothers. So supposing this one also becomes a good stepmother, would you be happy about it? And indeed they say, oh yeah. So that's how we started to explore and then enter into it. But 2 of us, yes, we had agreed to move together. So we wanted to bring them on board.
Wow. What are the opportunities that this has brought, the raising a blended family?
The opportunities, first of all, is these are from different, first of all, she's from a different background. I'm from a different background. She's from a Baganda culture. I'm from a Mshiga culture. So learning together to synergize.
Exactly.
So that we tap from the good practices. She taps from the good practices, and then together we get something strong that propels us into a strong family. So that was one of the greatest opportunities of learning from her culture and also from our culture. But two, she has different skills, and her children are different from mine in different ways. So tapping from their skills, their character, their personality, built on the other ones as well. And that brought in a stronger family of children who can now sit and talk and begin to do things together like one family. Of course, initially there is some fear, some kind of unknown situation they are going to go through. One of them, which is very obvious, is that already people were in a comfort zone. We are going to be where I was. Although Bishop Zach had advised me to get a complete new home, different from the one that I was staying in. So people had their corners in the house. So now interfering with those corners, could let them to learn how to work together. Who goes on a decker bed? So they had to sit and agree. We didn't dictate anything. Say, you are in this room, you are in this room. You sort yourselves in those rooms. So that helped them to learn together, to bring together their different skills of management. And we would observe them that actually leaders would just emerge on how they are going to do their things together. And they did it well. So those are some of the opportunities. But secondly, because they are from different families, like her children are from a different family, we are from a different family, the extended family. So having those people come together and we consider them now to be part of our extended family was a great opportunity in terms of extending love, in terms of problem solving, because usually there are challenges. But the one who can help you solve a problem may be from her source of the child.
Absolutely.
Okay? I remember we were going through some tough situation, and her daughter who advised me, we need to convert this property to get some money, buy another property, and then we'll have more money to do some other things. You see, that was a great opportunity. Where would I have met that piece of advice if she was not part of her family? Yeah. So those are the few things I can highlight. Yeah.
Maybe to add on that, when we got together, we added to the number of people that we knew outside. We are different. Philemon and I are different people. More reserved than he is. So he's more outgoing than I am. So when we got together, we increased our networks. I can tell you this family now has so many friends out there. It's not the same like it was when I was alone and he was alone. So that is a very good opportunity that we have right there.
Okay. Wow. Thank you very, very much. Let's take a very short break and then the show returns in a bit. Thank you. Welcome back from that short break. My name is Clare, your world's favorite host. We are here with the Ngandas and they are sharing their experience on raising blended family. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome this great couple back here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In case you have just joined in, welcome. Thank you for joining in and thank you for loving the Family Hour and me, your world's favorite host. Back to the Ngandas, and I will actually begin with you, Mrs. Nganda. Would you please share with us in what ways have you seen your children benefit from having additional siblings or parental figures in their lives through a blended family dynamic?
Thank you, Claire. Well, children have benefited a lot from blending. One, like he said, I came with 2 children into this marriage. One introvert, another extrovert. We hinted on how they benefit from the different personalities and how they manage each other. These children, when they got together, they discovered how different they are, and we found that they actually would blend so well with each other. For example, the introvert got one that they can relate with very well, and then the other one also got the ones that they can relate with very well. So what happens here, they both benefit from each other's character or personality. They learned to manage themselves together as siblings. They actually have a lot of fun as siblings. This we can tell from exactly how they behave when at home. Even in the initial years when we had just gotten married, it was such a booming family full of love, bringing in the different characteristics and the different personalities. So I believe it was such a big opportunity. But besides that, when it comes to the academics, because we brought them in at an age when they were in the beginning of like late primary school and joining secondary school. So during those years, there was a lot of pumping with homework and other things, study this, do that. So we discovered who is very good at mathematics, who is good at English, who is good at reading stories and things like that. So this was a time of also discovering who is who and who can do what very well. And besides, even other skills like in the kitchen and things like that, washing for themselves and helping each other. It has such a good opportunity.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you very much, and we're actually very happy that it was a great opportunity. So how do you encourage and support open communication and understanding among the family members in a blended family setting?
Yeah, thank you. Basically, what has helped us to encourage that communication would have kind of games together. So she's very good in organizing those indoor games, like Scrabble and
Chess.
what else?
Chess.
Chess, and many snakes and ladders, all those. She's very good in organizing those things. Now, when children are participating, they begin to learn how to communicate with each other. But also, they share different experiences, and then they begin talking. So we'd encourage that kind of games together, encourage the outing together, encourage to have road trips together. There's one, we had a road trip up to Queen Elizabeth National Park, Fort Portal, so that they can now have an opportunity of interacting and begin to talk about their own issues, girls and boys, something like that. So we would encourage that kind of get together, eating together, doing activities together, so they can develop that kind of communication. Then those who are in the same class, the same schools, they again would have an opportunity of sharing homework, so they can now begin to work together as they communicate, rather than remain from different angles and remain their comfort zones, but they would come and interact together into that. That became an opportunity for them, because some were higher in class, others were following. And those would read the notes of the other person from a different school, then they would ask questions, and then they would develop together. So that's what I think helped them to learn how to do those communication together.
Wow, wow.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, the other thing, what I know is that most of this is a deliberate effort. So having these children coming from a different background meant that for example, my children did not have a father in their life. They didn't grow with a father, and at that time, his children didn't have a mother. So why I say deliberate effort, we would make, for example, if you're going to shop for school, I don't think he enjoys shopping, but the times when we made it an effort to make sure that when the boys are going to buy their boxers and they are going to look for those things that are menish, he would go with them, and I would go with the girls. So we would get to a place and we take different directions. During that time, there's an opportunity to bond even more, to learn from a man. How do you negotiate when you're buying a new pair of shoes and things like that? Same applies to me with the girls. I would make sure that they learn these little things, and also by doing things together with them, made sure that they know how we women handle certain things without necessarily going in class and writing down, this is how you do it. We did it practically, deliberately. Yes, thank you.
Wow, and I like that when you talk about that, Bernadine. I want to also first know, were you working at that time, or you were at home? Were you working?
Oh yes, I was
working.
You
were working.
I was working.
So how was it easy for you to create this bond? I want to think maybe you have to be with your children more often to create the bond amongst yourself. How did you play around this whole thing? You're working, then you have a family demanding, they are now young, and you have, what are some of the things you did to ensure the bonding?
During that time, the first years he was also working, I was also working, but for me, my job, first of all, played a big part. They understood that I was just getting into another marriage. So what they did was actually to support when you ask for leave, when you're not working Saturday, because before I would sometimes work even Saturdays, half day and things like that. But this particular time, every time that we had off our jobs, we had with the children. That's, I think, what helped most. And again, like we said, we had those purposeful things. I had not been to a theater, for example. I don't think he had been to a theater, but we had this energetic team, teenagers, people who have just entered their teenage. They had so many things, demands, and things that they liked that were new to our ears, because we are not the .com that they are. So we tried that every time we had an opportunity, we used it. Every time we are going back to school, we are using it. Every time we are coming back, that's all we did. Because today it's not very easy to have full time for the children.
Okay.
You remember when we traveled to Naria, that place, to watch a movie together?
Yes, in the cinema. Yeah, but it helps. It helps. By the time you finish that movie, he normally asks the question, so what have you learned from this movie? What have you taken home, and things like that. And those are opportunities to use. In other words, we don't wait for a timetable team to go and bond. Wow. It's a moment that we use all the time as we go along.
Wow, this is so interesting. I would like to hear from the priest of a home. How was that? How did you ensure bonding? This is a whole new experience. No one trained you. No one prepared you for this. As a father in a home, how easy was it for you? Or how hard was it for you?
First of all, we create some kind of a culture of being together and praying together. As I said earlier, eating together. It was all of us sitting around the dining table, making sure that everybody's there, and making sure that we pray together after the food, we read together the Bible. Then after that, when we still have some time, like on weekend, then we'll do those games together. So that was deliberate, to ensure that they bond. They come together, they bond, they learn from each other. They keep on asking questions. As she said, I would ask them after every activity. So what do you learn from this activity? So they would begin answering. But some of them would start laughing, knowing that actually after this activity, Dad is going to ask those questions. So that's what we try to do to ensure that we are clearly growing together. Otherwise, people would be in their comfort zone somewhere, but we'll bring them together. Yeah.
So maybe one thing that he hasn't talked about is he or together, or the family has encouraged that everyone takes on the role of leading activities. I don't want to say prayer is an activity, but even prayer would be like, today you are the one taking us through this and this. You take the opportunity to learn from everybody else, but also to lead, like to lead.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Now that's so beautiful. But also, I would love to ask you this. You as parents, I know it came a bit easy because you are mature and you're adults. But now for the children, how did you ensure that this comes easy for them, and you know, as they grow up, it's easy, it comes natural, and they embrace it and they love it and they live along with it? How did you ensure that?
I think we hinted it earlier that initially when we had already planned our being together, we had talked to them. I talked to mine, she talked to hers. Then we had a session where we had talked all of them together. And some of them had already interacted in schools. Some of them were sharing some school. So they knew each other at some stage, although they're in different classes. So in those discussions, it helped them to begin bonding early. Actually, they would like to run around, do football together and all that. So that helped us a little bit. So it's not a strange relationship. They had already met in schools. They were almost the same age group. I think the eldest is like 1 year older than my son. But that brought them together to know this is it. Okay? So that brought them together. Then also, I would go with her for visitations in schools. We would go together to ensure that they begin to know that this is the person who is going to be part of us, father figure, mother figure, to sort our situations. So that's how we made sure that happens into that. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thank you very much. So, how do you celebrate and honor the individual identities and contributions for each family member within your blended family?
Initially, we had a kind of an understanding that children are different. So we would have birthday cakes for every child until they reached age 18.
Like
Wow.
After finishing senior 4?
After finishing.
After senior 4. That's when he said, now each individual is responsible for your birthday.
Wow.
You know, so we would celebrate each other. They would organize for us, we would organize for them, and then they would participate in decision making in those activities. So that we would celebrate each individual. Even now, we have a home WhatsApp, a family WhatsApp group. So we again celebrate individuals on WhatsApp, family WhatsApp.
Okay.
And then people begin to celebrate each other. Those who want to share gifts, they share gifts. Yeah.
Wow. We also have talent in the house. We have, for example, the youngest is a very good singer.
Wow.
Because of that, we encourage her. We actually, if we have any get together at home and she has not sung, we feel that this is a loss. So she also knows it.
Yeah.
Recently, we had a wedding of one of our sons, and she gave us a very beautiful song in church.
Aww.
So she knows that we celebrate her as a person who really sings so well.
talent.
We have another one who is a dancer. She's now married. But when she comes back home, you know, the meal, and then we talk, and then we play Scrabble, and then we end it with dancing.
Wow.
She can really dance, and she gets everybody to dance, including us. So we still dance because of their talent. We have someone who is very good at chess. That's the game he always wants us to play. And, you know, they have different talents. We have one who is very good at, it's not a talent, but he laughs. And when he laughs, he laughs very loud. The house changes. Everybody will laugh.
Wow.
Contagious laughter. So he's now married off also. So, but when he comes, we know that these are some of the things we will remember about ourselves all the time, and we celebrate them.
Yeah.
Then one who knows who enjoys cooking, yeah. So when you bring the chicken and he can prepare it, say, what is this? Where is this? Yeah, all these ingredients. And then after he has served the food, he will take a picture and say, wow. Yeah? So we encourage them to develop those talents, and then we celebrate them. I mean, someone has baked a cake, so we enjoy it together, and we say, wow, congratulations, thank you.
Wow.
There's one who will change the tire within a few minutes.
Jesus.
She is a girl, but she's very particular on any fixing anything in the house. So we will notice them, we'll celebrate them, and thank God for them.
Wow, wow, parenting is a whole big deal.
Yeah, it is, but fun.
Fun, I know.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, that's so fun. And now the mother who does the gaming here, there.
Yes.
And the dad, you arrange for the road trips and what?
She does actually. In the games, she's an expert.
Then what's your role now?
My
The
role
road
is
trip.
to ensure things are happening.
Okay, this is really, really interesting. So have you found that navigating the challenges of blended family has ultimately strengthened your family bond and created a more resilient family unit?
The challenges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, through the whole process of coming together, first of all from different backgrounds and different cultures, I can say key observations. One is we have different, she has and I have a different way of parenting style. From my background, the only thing that worked was Chiboko.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I'm who I am, because someone had to bring me in order through Chiboko, Cain. And maybe it was biblical, she was following the but it was too much Cain. And because of that, we survived. And we came out of the confusion of being rebellious, not being obedient in some situations. So Chiboko would do the work.
Oh.
I remember my father, every evening, he didn't have an opportunity of going to senior 4 or whatever. He had stopped about P4, P3, like that. But he was a very sharp man. He would do a lot of mathematics using mental work. Yes. Wow. And reading his handwriting, you need to add 1 and 2 to make it, because it was not very easy. It was like those doctors who but every evening he would be near at the entrance to the house, to the home. I wouldn't say gate, but entrance. And you present your books. Anything that is X, that's Chiboko.
Oh my God.
Yes. So what do? You make sure there's no X. You pass it, or you go ready for the 1 or 2. Not that it was doing out of not with love, but it was out of love. So that we perform, we don't become like him who didn't go very far. You get it? So if I adopted that, normally we tend to capture or learn from what we went through to apply to our children. But for her, there is one who applies an eye. Because she told me she had never beaten her children. But me, Kenny was
just a side eye and it does magic.
So that was the challenge and the problem, to merge those two and get out something good. What happened is that I had to reduce. I remember Kenny, one of her children, and actually it was not something very serious to deserve a cane, but in my heart I was like, how would this person react? You get what I mean? And it created some tension. So being flexible in that area was the main challenge for me. So that I don't apply the cane, I can apply another methodology, but the child will also be obedient. Exactly. And will respond positively. So that was number 1, and actually it is number 1 in terms of being a challenge. Adjusting to those things of parenting styles, and also taking more time to make clear understanding why this is done this way. Why did she do it that way, and why did I do it this way? Then the other one is the children themselves, especially the young ones. We normally ask our questions and say, but where did the rain start beating us from? Why are we here, So if children are not yet brought to understand that, where are they in this home, not in the other home, it can be a problem. So that's why we took time to make sure we do deal with that early, but see it would remain, because it was a question of time. Someone will say, where am I here? Not the other side where I used to be. So that was one of the challenges. But with the time, being deliberate to it started reducing, and people were more confident to open up and share, even with me without going to her, and even my children going to her without going to me. You get what I mean?
Yes.
To the extent they reached the point of calling me daddy, and mine also called him mommy.
Oh.
And getting that achievement is not a small one.
I know.
I know. It's one of the things we talked about before marrying, and we're like, what are they going to call us? Do we tell them? Do we do that? And we said, you know what? Let's just leave this.
Yes.
It will come naturally.
Oh.
Otherwise, we're like, should they start calling me mommy? Should they start calling you daddy? And it doesn't really.
And it's exciting for the boys to confide in her, without even telling me.
That's so sweet.
You get it? So that was a great success in that area, overcoming the challenge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Mrs. Nganda, you have any?
The challenge the challenge I thought about before we entered into marriage, and even after entering into marriage, was when children have been alone with you, there are certain things that they hold on to because of knowing you alone. I came with children whose father had died when they were still very, very small. Very small. So I'm the only person they knew. Now, I was entering into a marriage where the children have known the other deceased person for some time, and the person has left them. So there are things that they knew that they would want to hold on to. So my fear was, how do you let them, how do you give them a new norm? It was not very easy. It was a bit of a challenge, even if we had discussed and planned and all that. But there are certain things, like, just give you an example. A child who is used to getting up from the time that they lost their parent, they get up in the morning and go to the parent who remained every morning in their bed, or, and they are that close. So now you come in and you are in that bedroom. It becomes very, very difficult to wean off that behavior. So for me, that was a challenge, which slowly by understanding this child and why this child was always coming to the bed was work. And then later we got to understand each other, and then later it was, okay, whenever you're coming in you have to knock, and later it is like, okay, I'll come in once a week without saying so. Right now this is a big man who is even married, and things are different. The story changed.
Oh, wow.
Then the other component of challenge was related with costs. Certainly numbers have increased, but again, we also consoled ourselves that yes, they have increased, but sources are coming from both on her. She was working also some work. But the other cost is managing now the extended families. You get what I mean? If there is a loss in other family, it is our responsibility, all of us. And when we are to visit and check on this and build that relationship, because my wife was from Barara in Ohio. So I remember one time again, we would make a deliberate effort to keep in touch with them and visit them. So that meant, one, having a bigger car. We had to buy a bigger car, a super custom, so that we all go, make a round from Kampala, cruise to Mbarara, check on the grandparents there, whether they are sick or not sick, but check on them. From there we drive. I come from Kanungu, go to, first of all Rukonjili, because she was married in Rukonjili. So her grandparents of the children are in Rukonjili. So go to Rukonjili, check on them as well. Proceed to Omonengo, going to Kanungu, check on my parents also. Come through Kasese, have some fun in Queen Elizabeth National Park, cruise to Fort Portal, go to Mitiana, because her home is also in Mitiana. In other words, that's a lot of cost.
Exactly.
Before that, we would just go to one direction. Now you have to go all and make a circuit. So that was additional expense that comes with the blended family. But all in all, as I said earlier, in the advantages and benefits, all those connections bring more blessings in different ways. So while this is a cost, but our ultimate benefit was really significant as well. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I don't even know. Our time is really, really quite spent. But would you please give us your parting shots?
Right. I would advise, first of all, from the lesson learned, that for anyone to go into something like that, you need to plan. Talk, plan properly.
I just love that.
Yes, because when I was looking at the statistics, the divorce rate of blended family in America is about average of 6%. And it is also said that blended families stay together for 2 to 5 years. What does that mean? For us, we are 17 years. We have gone beyond those averages. So we thank God for that. So planning together, making sure that you are at the same pace, same page with your spouse makes a difference. Then from there, plan that the children who came from different backgrounds are with you. That's what I would recommend. But in all, put God at the center, because praying together keeps us together. A family that's prayed together stays together. Biblical statements and all that can help us to be together in all the situations. So that's what I would recommend. On our own, we can do nothing. But when God is at the center, challenges always come.
Exactly.
But those who overcome are those who have planned really to overcome, not to fail.
Yeah, that's really nice. But before even I leave you at that, as a head of a family, how did you ensure that you protect your family from the public opinion? I know the world has their own say and all that. How did you ensure that your family, your wife, your children are protected from the world's opinion?
Yeah, well, one of the helpful approaches where we use it is, one, whatever I have had, I will share with her, so that we are in it together. If it is to pray, we pray about it. Of course, even at the beginning, some people would say, how did he get her, that lady? You know?
Muganda from now to Kanungu.
So you get that information, you share with her, and then some of the issues actually for the elderly children, we also talk to them. This is what's coming up, this is what's emerging, but let's be together, let's work on it together, and we will succeed. That was one of the areas, so that we were informed on the emerging questions, emerging challenges that we are facing as a family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And Mrs. Nganda, I'll ask you the same question. How did you protect your children as a mother from the world's opinion? How did you help them to guard their hearts?
Basically, it's talking to them continually, and help them manage the questions that they come with, or if they share a challenge, we'll be there to help them understand and deal with that challenge.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
And the other thing is that maybe didn't come out very well is that we, him and I, have purposed to be husband and wife, to love ourselves, to be the couple that we want to be and that God wants us to be. That way, when these children look at us, this is what they see. So even if they had anything else, what do they see? They see people who love each other, and that way I believe that they have an example of what love should be. I don't if I have a challenge or if I have a disagreement with him or he has a disagreement with me, it's not something that we throw out to these people who actually, I mean, we can spark off a disagreement in the children if we ourselves disagree in front of them. So we love each other and we continue to love each other even now that they have been left. When they come back home, what do they see? That's what they see. So that way, even if they heard other things from the public or whatever is being said, they know that they have a foundation at home. They know that they have people they can rely on.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, wow. Now I want to hear this from the horse's mouth. Do you, when you look back, do you think this was the best decision that you made for your lives?
Yes.
For me, it was the best.
It was the
Wow.
best. It was, one, in terms of timing, it was the best. But two, also in terms of the children, it was, both sides were needed. They needed a mother, has needed a father. And they came in well. We blended in well. Imagine they would have a lot of excitement when we were visiting the schools, different schools. So there was a good blending into that. So it was
I can imagine.
I read somewhere where they say like a blended family is like something that you put in a blender. Usually when you put something, when you put something in the blender, you hold the top of the blender so that the things inside there don't fall out. So when he talks about school days and visiting from school to school, it could be, one can take it as a source of stress. But the truth is that it was fun. You jump from this school to the other one. Then we learned from the children that, you know, next term, my school should be first, then the other one should be last. And, you know, like the whole day from 7 up to 7 or 8. We are visiting all these schools.
Oh.
It could be it can be a source of stress, but to assure you, it was a source of fun. Yes.
Wow. I think just from what you're sharing here, I feel so happy for you. Like, I feel so happy. It's a very good place to be. Yeah. So did you at one time really like seek counseling, or do you sometimes go and seek counseling before you started this journey, or even now, do you seek some counseling, or what do you do when there is like something not going well in the family? What do you usually do?
We talk.
We talk. I don't remember going to counseling.
No, we've not.
I don't
So
remember.
you don't usually seek counseling from, you know?
No, I don't think we have.
Okay. So what do you usually
what
do?
we have needed was counseling for just a child who was going through something, but not as a family or us as a couple.
Okay. Yeah. So how do you usually solve the conflicts, the challenges that come in the family?
One, we try to talk about it. Another one is we avoid them.
I think that's a good one. Now that I like it,
For
yeah.
example, finances. As I told you, it can cause a lot of financial stress. And immediately we started this relationship, I lost a job. So she kept on getting better and better, better and better, and supporting each other. Like we make sure we sit on those job interviews together and guide each other. And then she will go do interview and she passes.
Oh.
Then she also will go for another course, and she finishes like that. So she was improving, while for me I was going to retirement. So that helped. But whenever
You were seeing her to the top. That was good.
Wise she was in that situation where maybe I didn't have some money, maybe until recently, she would give me the money to give to the children. Which woman does that?
I know, it's Bernadine.
So they know that money has come from, hey, Daddy has given us money. Actually, they come from her.
Oh,
So
blessings,
that kind
woman.
of sorting ourselves to reduce those conflicts and those challenges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, usually you tell me things and they trigger me to ask questions. Yeah. Now I would want to know from the side of Bernadine, how able were you to do that, and then you never grew wings? You know, women. How did you never grow wings? Does it come from how you were raised, or what?
I was going to ask you, do you remember that he said that I was a Muganda? Somehow, anyway, it's I think we are women are meant to help
Exactly.
their husbands. So with that in mind, I mean, the rest will fall in place. Yes.
Oh, wow, wow, wow.
Yes.
I really, really love the show. But yeah, please add on.
Yeah.
Sorry to
No, I just wanted to add one quote by an unknown person, that blood makes you relatives, but love will make you a family. Does it sink in very well? You may be, blood relationships, whatever, in a room like this, but you're not a family. But because there was love, or there is love and continues to be there, I pray, He loves our family and holds us together. We love each other as a family, so we become family. We're not really like looking at the blood relationships in there. Yes.
Oh.
Just wanted to add that.
Wow, thank you very much. Would you please give us your parting shots and then we close?
That was the shot.
Oh, that was sure.
Love.
Yeah.
Love will answer all questions. Love
Exactly.
will help you go through any hurdles. It will help you hang in there when resources are low. It will help you manage whatever. If you have a challenge, if deep down there is love, things will fall in place.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Now I must confess, I really, really enjoyed hosting you. And I'm looking forward to host you more often on how we met. Please come. And then you tell us your story, because, yeah, it's such a very God ordained story. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for loving the Family Hour. Thank you for loving me, your world's favorite host. Yeah, I'll see you again next Friday, same time, same place, with amazing topics and great guests. I love you from the deepest part of my heart. I will see you again. Cheers and good night.